Leon and Elo Heaven are probably going to end up playing on a team together for the North American Strikers League. So this might be one of our first previews at seeing that kind of a roster. I can't recall if their goalie is going to be Scyther or not. Typically opts for the Kai goalie. We'll see what ends up coming through here. And then Quest Esports has been on the grind as of late. They have been popping up in tournament after tournament and doing incredibly well for themselves. So I'm excited to see what happens here. But one of their staple picks so far has been, or at least in recent times, has been a Lilybunn Finny, which is taken off the table here. And Leo Leon's Asher will be banned away as well.
Makes a lot of sense with the way that these two teams know each other so well. I mean, I think Hamster is the 3rd seed, Quest Esports is the 5th seed, if I'm not mistaken, for this specific Primetime Tuesday number 8. And we see the Zentaros, we see the Estelles, but we see a Kai versus an Imi goalie. And I've been seeing a lot of Imi goalie be popular, but not as effective recently, it feels like. What do you think that might be the reason for, Kbot?
But, you know, I don't really know. I think it's probably more about the pilots, not the plane.
Yeah.
Lilybunn has been known to opt to go for this kind of Imi. Doesn't tend to prefer the Kai. Let's take a look at our starter awakenings here real briefly. We get twin drives across the board.
But this is Primetime.
This is Primetime, that's true. Sorry, it's Tuesday night, not Thursday night. But the game says otherwise, Vodible. And that twin drive might also be part of the reason. A good thing here for Lilybunn, the cyber swipe plus eject button combination allows this to have such a more forward presence. But of course, you can only do so much when there is a forward as proficient as Leo Leon in your goal box looking to put a goal back.
Leo Leon, when they have the core, they will score it 9 times out of 10. And that 10th time is when they might be just setting things up for their teammate to score instead, is what we are used to seeing on the offensive side of things. I like these back passes from Elo Heaven just so that they can keep the full control. Also get that experience points up every time they hit that core. And now just, not the greatest warp there because they hit their own barrier, but still, 2-on-3 situation looking a lot better for Quest Esports. I just got to see what SwitchSSB can do.
There's a core flip from Elo Heaven, finds the clear to get that out of there, but energy burst for both HamsterQuest and Switch. That pass will connect. Now energy burst there in front of the barrier, but Scyther's there with the save with the barrage. Now it gets cleared right over to Leo Leon, who pops the Oni's blade to try to get this thing away. Will be successful in doing so. Here's another core flip though from HamsterQuest. Gets collected from Elo Heaven. All the meanwhile, Switch got KO'd into the red goal box. And it's a power play opportunity. Beautiful defense from Hamster. It feels like this team has been playing together for quite some time.
It does feel like that. Maybe they've been playing some scrims or just playing some casuals, but there's nothing casual about Leo Leon getting slotted the core from Elo Heaven. That seems to be the 1-2 combo for the Hamster team, and maybe add Quest Esports to the end of them. Last time we had not Quest Esports versus Quest Esports and got the victory. This time we have Hamster being stolen from them. What does Quest Esports have, Kbot?
I don't really know, but what they do have is a heck of a lot of games with one another. We want to talk about team synergy here across the board. This team scrims like no end as far as I'm aware. It feels like they're on basically every night, continuing to perfect their craft. HamsterQuest getting taken off the pitch will mean a quick stall in the action for them, though. Now Elo Heaven looking for piercing shot dribble, but the Rose Warp forward for HamsterQuest here. Tries to mind game Scyther. The Giga Blast comes out again. Rose Warp, HamsterQuest back, trying to send this one back to the other corner. Will be successful in the defense with Lilybunn off of the pitch. Now the rush forward. Here's the Oni's blade. He'll send it backwards. Elo Heaven low on stagger and will continue to get knocked around by Switch. Now uses that passive strike to send this one forward. Looking for the position to send this back. Still can't quite find the goal there. Can't collect Scyther, but now Elo Heaven's taken off the pitch. Giga Blast out. Crystal Thorns will keep it in the corner. HamsterQuest looking for the dig. Scyther is there with the energy burst to get that clear out and will bait HamsterQuest, I should clarify. The Estelle. The energy burst away. Glitchbox down to the corner. Here's Elo Heaven forward as well as Leo Leon. They can't find the double collapse there with all their cooldowns used. Now in the corner again. Oni's blade, Crystallized Thorn still can't find it. The defense from both sides has been incredible so far in this game. Here comes the piercing shot. Leo Leon in position, clear down to the bottom side. But the strike war is won once again by Leo. It's a 3-0 set, but man, such great defense from both sides.
Or like a Leo set from how we saw them strike with the best accuracy that you could ask for of a forward offensive player. We saw some good midfield from Elo Heaven, but now it comes down to these Awakening. Super Surge available, but that prime time is going to be huge. Using the barrage for that Kai goalie for Hamster, and also making sure that there's nothing available for extra glitch pops for the enemy IME.
Yeah, and, you know, the prime time on Kai tends to be one of these, you know, BIS kind of awakenings, right? Having that extra barrage, I just was talking about a Kai. When you don't have that barrage, when you don't have that cooldown online, you're not going to be able to have that much more defensive power. And now, having that prime time, probably more important than having the missile propulsion, that will fall to Elo Heaven with the crystallized thorns you see already trying to have an influence on the map. And yeah, we'll see where this one goes here, but of course forward once again is Switch, trying to respond in time, but it will be a difficult task to pair up against Leo Zentaro. Here comes Slice and Dice, piercing shot doesn't quite collect, Lilybunn's forward as well with the cyber swipe. Now back over to the corner, but Elo Heaven able to clear it away with crystallized thorns. Keep this up on the north side of the map. Energy burst sent around and sent over to Switch, who finds the goal.
Nice goal from Switch. First one we've seen from them too after that 3-0 from Hamster. And I keep wanting to say HamsterQuest, but HamsterQuest, the way that they've been performing on this Estelle, we need to mention them a little bit more too. The way that they've been trying to go against this Elo Heaven midfield defense and offense that we've seen. Just an all-rounder for the team of Hamster has been really not much to show for. The piercing shot does get that goal barrier down, but you do need to follow up after that, and the energy burst was perfect from SwitchSSB, but there was just a defensive wall out of Hamster, every angle covered.
Every angle covered there. Also, Lilybunn forward in the cyber swipe. Got a lot done there, and then was able to warp away. Elo Heaven looks for the goal. Now gets sent away by the cyber swipe. HamsterQuest has the energy burst online. Barrage comes out of sight there a little bit early. He also has energy burst. Will use it there and get immediately denied by the piercing shot from HamsterQuest. And Quest Esports looking to return the favor right back at him.
There we go. That might be exactly the game plan for Quest Esports here, Kbot, to get that 3-0 speed, get the momentum back in their favor. Also goes to show how close the top teams really are against each other. Nice touch from Lilybunn over to HamsterQuest. You can see that they are banking on those energy bursts to try and close things out for this set. Just depends on how they can use them. And HamsterQuest may be a little bit too preemptive in the way that they use theirs. And there goes the goal barrier after the glitch pop came out from Lilybunn. Even with the blink, they did get it away for a second. Elo Heaven with the core push into the barrier. Now it's just even between them if Elo Heaven can get healed up.
Passive strike comes out of Leo Leon, clears it away, but a piercing shot will connect for the KO. Power play opportunity. HamsterQuest down to the bottom side, but Leo Leon covers it with Ioni's blade. There's the barrage and Giga Blast combination, trying to send this core away, but it's still collected by Quest Esports. Now, once again, forward. Here comes Ioni's blade on Switch, but it doesn't quite collect the core the way they want. And now HamsterQuest is taken off the pitch. Elo Heaven down to the bottom corner, but Lilybunn was stuck in the cyber swipe and the eject button, and that'll be an easy goal.
Nice way to come back too, and first goal on the side of Hamster. That wasn't for Leo Leon. That was great to see from Elo Heaven getting involved themselves, and not too much of a difference between the levels of all 6 of the players on the arena currently in Otten City. We do need to see a bit of a difference from Scyther defensively here. The barrage misses, and Leo Leon can't do too much to compete with Switch, as they did get the full stagger. Now they're looking for that KO, and HamsterQuest not the teleport that they were looking for either. It's right towards the midfield. Lilybunn feeling the pressure, and there's no way they could get that one away with all that aggression for Leo Leon.
And you're seeing the power of the Zentaro here, right?
Yep.
Even if Switch wanted to do anything, right, he can't, because he's going to continually get bullied away by all of the abilities of the Zentaro that'll continue to stun him and knock him even further away out of the play. Now Elo Heaven taken off the pitch.
Oh man.
As an energy burst sends forward. Here comes Lilybunn with the firewall sentry. It denies the barrage. And this is, I think, one of the reasons why Lilybunn and Quest Esports likes this IME, are those kinds of offensive plays that uniquely the IME can be involved in.
That was huge. Using everything in their arsenal to get that goal. They used the turret, they used the glitch pop, they blink forward into it too, and then energy burst for the cherry on top to get that. And Orb Dancer is going to help a lot, getting that extra speed for themselves around here. And Stagger Swagger taken by the Estelle. Interesting pick, but built different. Makes a lot of sense for Zentaro.
I wanted to go back to talking about that orb dancer, because now imagine cyber swiping forward and then you still get a little bit of extra time with that eject button. So you'll probably be able to run forward, get a little bit more work done, especially if you have that speed boost from the orb, and then you're able to stand back away. So these offensive plays might be that much more easier for the side of Quest Esports given that. But now, what a KO, as everything feels like it was just dumped on top of Switch, including the kitchen sink. HamsterQuest looks to keep this forward, interrupting the play. Here's Lilybunn as well, again interrupting the passing lanes between each of the members of Hamster. They don't have a response. It stalls enough for Switch to come back online, and he's going to find a goal barrier for it. Trying to dig this one out of the corner here. It goes right back over to him. Now doesn't quite find the angle that he'd want. Looking for it again. Scyther's there, though, with the barrage. That's one barrage used. There's the second, and it's not out in time. Beautiful plays all around from Quest Esports, not only disrupting the enemy offensive, but also with Switch coming back online, able to cycle through all the abilities, keeping the core where he was.
That momentum is just nice to see out of Quest Esports after it seemed like, well, it might have been a 3-0 sweep for HamsterQuest. Or not HamsterQuest, excuse me, Hamster. I said it. I was meaning not to, but eventually we had to have a bit of a falter myself. But SwitchSSB with the energy burst and the angle, perfectly timed, pulled out the protractor and got the goal. That's the quickest we've seen Quest Esports get their first 2.
5 straight goals. And I think one of the things about kind of team environment that is more practiced, especially I feel like someone like HamsterQuest, who has maybe a bit of like an amateur coaching background come in as well, is that he's probably able to figure out exactly what the team needs to do, and it feels like the rest of the team is doing that. You're seeing how much pressure they're applying to cut off each of these passing lanes between Hamster, but here it comes as Elo Heaven's able to find Leo Leon, now forward again, sent away, combination of Lilybunn and HamsterQuest's Rose Warp. Here's the piercing shot as both members of Hamster are down on the bottom side of the map. Oni's Blade once again looking for the goal barrier, but it's selected by Leo Leon. There's the piercing shot. Lilybunn's still back. Will force to be used. The energy burst there. Now Rose Warp forward, collects by Scyther. Looking for it again. Now Rush, here it comes. And the slice and dice still gets defended by Scyther with so many other abilities. The Giga Blast in close range was able to send that one away. And he still has the energy burst up as well. Here it comes out of Elo Heaven, and Leo Leon is there to send it back. It snaps the 5-goal drought.
We got to talk about that defense from everyone on Hamster, not just the goalie and Scyther, but Leo Leon and Elo Heaven somehow able to prevent the core every single time from hitting their goal barrier, and that is what won them that set. Eventually, it just had to come down to a counterattack as all the cooldowns were gone, and that's what we saw happen for them to potentially bring things back in the set, and there we go. Another reverse sweep potential. We'll see what happens.
There perhaps is a little more of the double-edged sword of the IB eject button. If you're stuck in, I mean, it's true for any striker, right? But if you're stuck in a certain animation, including that cyber swipe animation, you are in no position to save the core away. And Vod, it feels like this game is coming down to a battle of the defenses. Who is going to make a mistake first and allow a goal to go by? Because both these goalies have been playing exceptionally well. There's Scyther stalling out with the energy burst, now able to find the strike away from the goal barrier as well. Elo Heaven's forward, but it gets cleared from Lilybunn. Scyther's not there in time. Here's the glitch pop out as Lilybunn looks for the goal herself, doesn't find it, but the piercing shot, the rush will be enough to send it back. Quest Esports up 2-1 in sets.
Proving that they are the better Hamster with HamsterQuest helping put that one in against the odds and get the win. It seemed like an inevitability for that reverse sweep with how quickly Hamster were able to work things out. And you were talking about that as well, Kbot. When it comes down to the defense, that has been the key here. And I like the extra special pick because you don't want an extra Giga Blast on Hamster.
You do not, but, you know, the Centaur will be able to use it even still. The Oni's Blade, one of these stronger specials as well, especially when we're talking about area denial across the board. But what does it leave up? Leo Leon is able to pick up the perfect form here because Lily's looking for an orb build almost completely, has 10 stacks as well, but doesn't have that orb replicator for it to come in clutch. We'll see if Lilybunn becomes Orbeus and completes the Orb Zodia, however way you want to use it. But already, goal barrier falls as Quest Esports does not want to give away this set.
All of the above is what I like to say to that when it comes to the orb names. They're great. And hopefully Quest Esports can become the great themselves by getting the victory here against the higher seeded team in Hamster. The seeds, they're just fictional things of our imagination when it comes to results and what we expect power rankings to be. It comes down to exactly how you perform in the tournament itself, and this is what Quest Esports are doing as they get another one through. The coordination by these three players when they go on offense and the speed that we have witnessed recently by getting these opening goals in these sets has been beautiful.
Seriously, this Quest Esports team is a roster that is greater than the sum of their parts because they have so much experience together, because they can read exactly where their teammates are going to be in just a bit of time. And now, seems like this one's cleared away. Now Switch comes in with the defensive energy burst, has the fire up as well, so the speed boost will come in, and Lilybunn scampers up the bottom side of the map, looking to close off one of the angles there. Now Sio swipe forward. Lilybunn does have the energy burst as well, will not be able to get back in time. It is looking for the offensive play. Ooh. There's no one back in the goal box, but it doesn't matter. Core is not found. Speed boost out with the orb once again. This Ivy is scampering all over the place. Here comes the firewall sentry again. Switch keeps in the corner. There's the crystallized thorns. The Switch dashes forward. Can't quite find it. HamsterQuest low on stagger. Leon looking for the KO, but HamsterQuest is positioned so that he's not able to find that KO. Still, Leon in position, stalking for it, and now we'll finally find it with the slice and dice and the AI rush combination.
Oh,
there
no.
it is, and oh no, just slips past Lilybunn. Sony salute for that one. As a goal goes in here, and Hamster still might have a bit of life in him.
Unfortunate to say the least for Quest Esports and Lilybunn. We've seen it happen a couple of times where they've tried desperately to get back after using their glitch popper, using their blink, and Leon just taking on the world themselves and making sure that they can pull themselves back from the brink up by their bootstraps and go forward to potentially tie up this game.
Remain calm. You must remain calm. Again, this feels like it's coming down to who's making the mistakes first on the defensive side. The past two goals, Lilybunn's kind of let a few unfortunate things through. Now has the energy burst to prevent the goal barrier. Here comes the speed boost as well, as we're all forward, and the fire-up speed boost comes through. There's the KO, and Lilybunn's there on the top side of the map now. Again, this Ivy is so quick with all of the additional speed awakenings, and now all of a sudden it's match point for Quest Esports.
Here we go. All comes down to this for Hamster. Can they bring it back? Get that goal barrier down quickly and a goal afterwards. And we do see the Rose Warp into the energy burst, but it wasn't enough for them to get past the wall that was Quest Esports defense. You mentioned it earlier. This is a game of defensive efforts, and you do see the pressure coming out from Lilybunn with that eject button, using their blink too, but it's still not enough for them to get the goal. And it's still a great look from Hamster. They just need one angle on this. They can get it. They get the KO. They get the rush, and there we go. Leon carries them forward into set 5.
Oh my goodness, how disgusting was all of that from Leon? The perfect form on the Zentaro and the full rotations of all of those cooldowns. Orb Replicator has made its way, but I imagine that Leon's might steal this away. I hope he does. Okay, there it is. And that is kind of the riskier run when you're building that orb build full and completely. Lilybunn will instead opt for the Catalyst here, which means that there are going to be that many more energy bursts to come out from Quest Esports. When you consider they've got both the Catalyst and the Fire Up, they might be on two different strikers, but even still, the combination of energy, and it's not going to be, completely lacking for Lilybunn either, who's been getting so involved on these offensive plays regardless.
Sorry, I had to laugh because one of the players of the tournament's like, can I slide you a cookie to get into playoffs? No, you just got to play better and win more. And you can only lose once when it comes to the Swift stage tonight. Only top 7 make it out based on the 40 teams we have currently. Unless there's dropouts, might change things there. Either way, though, it's all going to come down to this. Do we see 5 goals here, Kbot? That's my question.
We'll see. This one's going to be close. KO's back both sides. Switch does have both the passive strike and the energy burst online. There's the goal barrier. Here's the firewall sentry. Energy burst all exchange, and now Switch is able to find the angle to the bottom side after knocking both Scyther and Leon away with that energy burst. Quest Esports 1 goal closer.
1 goal closer to their potential victory, but we've seen this before, Kbot. We've seen many chances for them to close it out, and Hamster somehow was able to pull things off with Leon leading the charge, but That's going to be their focus, trying to get Lilybunn out of their hair. And if they stagger them enough, take them off the side, take them out of the equation, might be enough. Great piercing shot from HamsterQuest to deflect the core away from the clutches of Lilybunn. And again, as I was mentioning that is the focal point for the offense of Hamster. If you can just cripple them as best as you can, there's nothing they can do about it.
And I will say, Lilybunn, you know, theoretically, you'd think after every carousel, every striker gets a little more powerful. That's not really the case for Lilybunn, who might have taken MVP, but was forced to deny the orb replicator early on. So he's basically the same power as he was earlier, and Switch is able to come on with a goal now. There's the Oni's Blade. That Happy Star Oni's Blade comes in, and Quest Esports match point here versus Hamster.
This could be it for Quest Esports to move forward, be undefeated going into round 3. Round 2 is usually a lot harder than the first round based on start.gg Swiss is what we are using. Some of the matches might be a little funky, you might think, but it makes it all the more entertaining to say the least there. And there goes the goal barrier. This is potentially the goal. Somehow Energy Burst saved by Scyther to take it away.
And now, Switch still in the corner with the Oni's Blade, but won't have any cooldowns for a moment. Passive Strike comes forward from Lilybunn, who's low on stagger, will collect an orb.
Oh no.
Share a little bit of energy with the rest of the team. Here comes the slice and dice. Lilybunn will get KO'd from the glitch pop as Lilybunn's on a 6 KO streak. Power play opportunity. Here comes the Oni's Blade, looking back the other way. Now Switch down to HamsterQuest. Rose Warp down, Lilybunn's there as well, and Switch will put it away. Quest Esports take the victory over Hamster.
Scyther taking that one up instead of trying to go directly towards HamsterQuest was not the right play. It's hard to know in the moment. Usually as goalies we're told, oh, you want to clear it away from an enemy who's right in front of you, but Elo Heaven had their back. Instead, Elo Heaven was in an odd spot once it popped up, and then there was the goal from Switch. 3 goals in a row. SwitchSSB popped off in that last set, Kbot.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone popped off a little bit in that last set between Switch, Lilybunn, HamsterQuest. Look, Leon, Scyther had moments, Elo Heaven had moments. I mean, look at this. We were literally just talking about KO pressure from goalies, but it's not just the KO pressure that was coming in from Lilybunn. It was also so much more with the offensive presence. Watch how many times Lilybunn was able to lay that firewall sentry down on the offensive, you know, in a corner or something, so that it was so limiting for a goalie to try to find a clear angle out, right? That's the sort of thing that you see in midfield IME do, but Lilybunn was still able to have the presence of a midfielder despite being that goalie slot, and still was able to cover a decent number of those goals on the back sides. Also, you know, the mind games out of the Awakenings draft that were coming in, where Leon was forced into taking Orb Replicator. I was like, originally I was like, well, okay, if you're Lilybunn, maybe you don't set yourself up, but look, if you're forcing someone else to take a basically worthless Awakening as their MVP pick first in that carousel, it makes such a large difference. And then you were able to get marginally better things that are better for your own team, able to swing that to your favor, and just such well play on the whole there from Quest Esports. I think the time at Quest Esports is quickly becoming upon us here, Vodible. This team is going to go on tear after tear, and it's going to be another team that is going to keep rising up the ranks, and many of you might be caught by surprise if you're not busy watching these kinds of rounds of the tournament.
I mean, they made top 8 last time, only lost to not Quest Esports, who had to play against the eventual runner-up. So it's a rough situation to be in there. But Quest Esports, I talked about it going into this series. I'm like, oh, we've seen a lot of IME goalies recently, and people have kind of struggled a little bit when it comes to using all their cooldowns and not really being able to do much afterwards to save the core from going in. We saw that a couple times, but that was far over, like, doubted there by my part, because we saw so much when it came to the KOs, when it came to that midfielder presence you were mentioning, Kbot, by using the glitch pop perfectly. And that final KO that we saw on Lilybunn was the nail in the coffin. Once that KO came through, a 3-on-2 situation, it was bound to happen that the goal would go through the other end, and they were already up 2-0. There's only so much you can do in those kind of situations unless you can hold out long enough, and they were close, but they weren't able to do it at the end there. So there's the first loss for Hamster, and I am fearful for any team that faces them going forward into this bracket, because they look good too. And on the other side for the B stream, OTP versus Oceano Corflow also went to 5 sets, and Ocean Corflip got the win there.
Ocean Corflip, tell you what, has been just squeaking out some of these like 5-set games time and time again. Another one of these teams that'll be exciting to look out for as they continue scaling. So, and look, Hamster, if this is the team that's playing together for the future, I'm excited to see as they build up more synergy and the like. I mean, you know, it felt like they were able to play incredibly well, especially in the first set. But once some of these ideas, once some of these builds started to come online, they could not find an answer for always having, the enemy completely forward in the enemy goal box the entire time. So hats off to Quest Esports for cracking the code there. And now, Vod, I think we're going to be heading to a break before we start our round 3.
That we are heading to a break right now. We'll be waiting a little bit of time this go around because we had some matches start late, but we will be getting into that round 3 in just a moment. So don't go anywhere. This is Primetime Tuesday number 8, and we'll be right back.